So since we've already seen this one, we're gonna talk over the cutscenes since
Emergency! Police headquarters.
all
Please
secondary
respond.
missions always have the exact same intro, and most of the times the beginning of the mission is going to be similar, but for the most part they are a completely different objective that just starts off from the same point as the first mission. And as stated before, because this world sort of loops in a circle, well, not loops in a circle, it just keeps going back to its previous state. It sort of allows for a multiple parallel universes where a certain thing may or may not have happened.
Today we're playing Forbidden Siren 2, but first we need to talk about parallel universes. Don't worry, Nico. Everyone else got that joke.
I didn't.
I know. Don't worry. Your viewers will know, and then they'll berate you for it.
I'm not sure if they will know.
They will. Trust me.
But yeah, as you can see, the beginning of the mission is very similar to the first objective. We just have to get to the guardhouse. As before, we don't actually need to get the key, but it is an option. We may as well do it since it nets us a better weapon than Nightstick. Shigeru is actually armed with a gun since he's a policeman, but since the enemies here are not that aggressive, there isn't as much of a reason to use it. And while ammo and resource conservation is not that big of a deal in Forbidden Siren, you also don't want to waste all of your ammo straight away. He does have a gun, but it doesn't have as many bullets. As for example, Yorito has, like, with Yorito you'll practically never run out of ammo for his rifle, which is why combat in his stages, it sort of varies between either a non-challenge to them adjusting it to every enemy has a rifle now, bitch.
No.
But yeah, I sort of forgot. This is the mission that I actually had to replay at one point. At a later point, I have to replay it because I missed a certain archive item in it. Not an archive item, actually an item that unlocks a secondary objective in another mission. I thought I may as well show it because I was also way too far. Way too far ahead. Just like go back to this specific mission and redo it as if it was done, perfectly the first time. Oh yeah, and also if your characters run constantly, which running is basically you pull the control stick all the way forward, basically this means that you will be running most of the times if you're using your control like any sane person. Your character will get winded. You can still keep going, but you will be more vulnerable to damage. And that's just not great. You can still fight if you're winded, but the best solution if you don't actually have to run, don't actually have to fight, is to crouch down, wait for a few seconds for them to stop panting, and at that point you should be alright. But you hear...
So with all...
Yeah,
sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, you can see we're not getting followed into this location because outside the sun, I guess, is rising. It's a little bit difficult to tell because this game is dark in general. But this is why they can't actually follow us here to this building. It's a little bit inconsistent how the clouds actually work. It seems to change from stage to stage. And here is an example of like how the selection menu can mess you up depending on whether you're walking or standing. You get different options.
Ouch.
In the previous game, this was a little bit more static, but I think that the way that they did it in this one is a little bit better. Essentially, every action you did in the first one, you had to select from the context menu. You know, the one that you press triangle and then you get several options like switch weapon, wait, shout. You know, the most important things. I believe you can still select like jump. No, you actually cannot select jump and go down from that menu, but you can select things like pull somebody up. It's more like unusual actions. And for all of the usual actions like opening doors, picking something up, you just press X when the prompt shows up. In the previous game, you would have to use the triangle menu for literally everything.
What's that? Nearly stuck my nose in where it shouldn't be. You think I would have learned by now?
So yeah, that's what I mean with the secondary objective. It ends in a completely different way.
You clearly did not S-rank that mission. Great.
See, she's an owl.
Yeah.
That's why she's afraid of light. It all adds up.
Makes sense.
And why her eyes were so big and on her chest. Wait. And here we get introduced to yet another new character, but we're gonna ignore her for now, and instead we're going to do the second mission of Akiko, where we actually discovered her unique talent, which isn't actually driving. Everybody can drive.
No, don't look.
Her unique talent is actually...
What? Where am I?
Well, I mean, they're gonna say it, so I'm not gonna spoil it. It's actually pretty interesting.
What's going on? And where's Soji?
Lucky me.
Yeah, and this is what I meant when he finds something and then eats it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the fruit that we found on the... this is the fruit that we found on the fence, which I risked my fucking life for. I took 2 bullets. I took 2 sniper bullets to get that fruit.
Just like in real life.
I mean, it's becoming a reality more and more with every passing day. But yes, her special ability... yeah, so in this mission, Soji actually finds his way on his own. He just leaves. So you see, from the start, this mission is already way different.
It's a special power to flashback.
Yes. It still uses side jack, but you need to use it in very specific locations, which are indicated by a flash. Now, what you can see, I skipped it over because I had to read this mission several times. You could see that the child had a robot, and there was also a key. You saw there was a flash again, but I don't show it because you can get the similar vision in several places. So you only really need to like well, if you're close by to a location where you already got one of those visions, then you're probably gonna get the exact same one, which is nice. It's nice that they give you multiple options. Now here I'm looking for the weapon that he dropped, and because I run him over, the weapon is actually quite far away from the body. And we're not gonna be going into that building, the first building near the children's park. We're going to be going straight into this one because, well, Soji isn't even on this mission. We also collected the camera, which is both an, I don't believe it's an archive item, but it is an item that you need for one of the future missions. Oh, and also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but whenever you sidejack, whenever you get a view from somebody, you can actually press one of the face buttons on the PS2 controller. You can see here 203. That actually indicates the room number that you should be interested in. But yeah, what I was saying is, whenever you get a vision, even the vaguest one, you can press a face button and it will get mapped to that button, and then you can quickly swap between them. It also just makes it easier to see it immediately without having to fine-tune the view. But yeah, I was just getting an idea of where everybody was. Had to teabag the doors. Sadly,
assert dominance.
Sadly, you can't actually open doors without standing up, which I think it should have been an option. But it's the same thing for attacking. You also cannot attack when you are crouching. We need to wait for this guy to get back in and follow directly. No, actually, no, get out. He ignores us, thankfully. And
not for long, he doesn't.
And then we try to get back in there. I messed it up because I was paying attention to just the old guy and I wasn't paying attention to the sniper, but thankfully the sniper whiffed this time.
Sniper doesn't care about the door, but those fruits, bro, don't you fucking dare.
Well, no, he was only interested in those fruits because I called him up in that location. He wouldn't have actually been interested in it if I didn't do that. In fact, the guy that I was using actually suggested that you don't pick up the fruits in that mission. But you can. And here's the robot.
Back then,
RoboZoo has been added to the archive. A truly cursed toy.
That robot's gonna grow up to be a defender of humanity one day, dude. Don't worry about it.
I don't think that one will.
Dang.
I mean, you'll see why. But yeah, a big part of this game's gameplay is just like sitting at a safe spot and just sort of looking at what everybody's doing, trying to find an item of interest, maybe, or a spot to slip by. But yeah, here you can actually see something on the fence. It's more clearly visible from the perspective of another guy, but I just need to make sure that that guy that was walking by there isn't on the stairs when I'm getting up there. Not impossible to take out, but you know, the less fighting you need to do, the better.
Right.
And so long as you don't have a light and you don't stick out in, like, you know, in the open, the enemies will rarely ever find you unless they just like directly look at you. Shibito in particular just aren't very smart and they lose interest very quickly. Which is good that they are the early enemy of this game. Because boy oh boy are we up for an upgrade.
No.
But yeah, you wanna do this one quickly, at the very least until this guy finishes his round. I have to say also the reaction, the reactions that the enemies have to you shining your light are a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes I can be shining my light constantly while in hiding and they will not spot me, and sometimes you have the situation like with Mamoru where he was clearly invisible, but because I forgot to turn off the flashlight, somehow that one asshole just spotted me for no good reason. So yeah, right now we're just going to wait for the grandpa to finish his round upstairs. We're gonna sneak by behind him. He's right now actually in a completely different building, so we don't even need to worry about him. What we do need to worry
That's
about...
not what the spider sense says. Or that.
I'm just going to zigzag him. We got everything we needed to get. We got the key. And we got the chain.
There's no time to waste.
This basically means that you're getting chased by a zombie. It's a little bit weird how that functions, because there is certain actions that you can and certain actions that you cannot perform when getting chased by Shibito. Thankfully, thankfully it's actually pretty forgiving where you like how far away or how engaged they need to be. So long as they're not directly close and not like alert, you should be fine to do most of the things. I think the selectiveness has just to do with what kind of labor it requires. But yeah, I digress.
Moving on to the next item. This afternoon, a woman's body was found in an apartment in Shinjuku. The body appears to be that of Ryoko Tegewa, who worked at a local restaurant. We have a reporter on the scene.
Yes, a woman was found dead in her
Ryuko,
apartment,
why?
having been beaten to death with a blunt object.
Shut up! Don't make a sound, I'll kill you! Just shut up and listen, all right? I didn't do it, all right? I saw her. I passed her on the stairs on my way up to the apartment. And when I stepped into the room, there was a dead woman in there. The cops are saying it's Ryoko. I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't me. Come on, please. Help me. I didn't do it.
All right. I believe you.
I'll fucking kill you to prove that I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
Always works.
I'll kill anyone who says I am.
I'm so innocent. I'm going to murder this entire cast. But yeah, Yorito got a new mission, but that's not what we're gonna be doing. Shu got a second mission. Well, second mission is second mission.
Yeah.
Here's actually when we're gonna get to see the full cutscene. You know, the one that I accidentally skipped the first time through.
Tsukusa, is this your... Has nothing changed?
So Shu's aware, huh?
Well, he sees basically he sees his house through the eyes of his dog.
Daddy!
That's me.
We actually saw him as well in the very first mission of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hints are basically similar to the first mission. However, there is one extra thing. Tsukasa can actually find stuff for us.
Never seen you around. Who are you?
So that he wakes
Oh,
up.
that's convenient.
Yeah, the beginning of this mission also is very similar. By the way, the guide that I was following didn't actually mention that you can get a weapon at all. To be fair, it is a shoehorn.
I am a zombie and I will malice you with a shoehorn.
You actually don't deal with zombies in this stage, though. Notice that they are actually using words and speaking in very coherent fashion. They're just regular humans. But yes, this is, again, the island is basically replaying the events of what happened 20-something years ago. However, people from the future got people from the present got caught up in it. Shu is kind of an exception here because he is, unlike most of the other characters, he was here 20 few years ago. This is why he has two versions. You know, the adult him and the baby him. Thank you.
This path. That's right. I've been through here before.
In more ways than one now.
Oh yes. But yeah, if you do clear an objective the second time, which I often do just to make sure,
Right.
the game does recognize it as, yo, you've done this before. But yeah, this is why I prefer not to use this view, because it really it's kind of cumbersome. Like Resident Evil view from semi-fixed camera is just there is a reason why you don't see that very often. But yeah, the scrap metal dump is where we need to get to. Thankfully, despite the fact that this guy is, you know, a human person with a flashlight, he is kind of oblivious to a fully grown person following him.
Quick, run up behind him and snap his neck.
Wouldn't do it, because, well, they're people, so they take a bit more punishment than a shoehorn. But yeah, previously the mission ended when we just went forward, however this time we're gonna go up. Because we need to find something. And while yes, I do use Tsukasa's view just for the sake of it, it would have probably been easier for me to just do it in first-person view.
Yeah, but just think though, you get to play as the dog.
Yeah, basically. Or POV or dog.
Yeah.
You don't actually play as the dog. You can only... Oh, yeah, dig up. There we go. And there we go. Actually, an actual zombie.
What the fuck? I don't like this game anymore, Nico.
I mean, I don't really want to spoil anything. But
I don't like this game.
You'll see. But yeah, next time we'll see what's more to happen. What other misadventures we get into with Ichiko's Yagura. She's kind of a badass. What's more